Hey everyone, welcome back SVC Sports Talk. Shane Combs and coming to you talking a little SVC footballs. We're on the brink of some playoff football. Looking back at the regular season, as always, thank you, Dr. Chris Good Health Chiropractic Center, for supporting all that we do to cover our kids. As we transition that website over with John Bruce there on SVCSportsTalk.com, still trying to keep SVC Sports Talk live. So some plus action here on the YouTube channel. So as I talk some football with playoff time, 5 SVC schools. It kind of for me makes sense to start with Huntington Paint Valley because I'll be calling that game this weekend. I'm excited to bring that to the local fans. You can check that out on the Paint Valley Local Schools YouTube channel. I'll have the live call with Kai Pulliam there Friday night. We'll go on the air right around 6:45, 6:50, somewhere in there, with the kickoff shortly after. And as I look at that particular thing, what a neat story for Huntington. First playoff appearance of all time, and Ed Yates, head coach there at Huntington, does such a good job. I know all of his kids prepared. I think they come in. They're really old. They got a lot of 17, 18. Year old young men on the offensive defensive line, a lot of seniors in terms of some experience and some toughness, and when you think of the way Huntington likes to play and so forth there with the run game and ball control and some of those things, certainly going to play in their favor. Plus I think they avoid the long trip, which a lot of times seeds 9 through 16 are going to deal with, or some people looking anywhere from 2 to 3 hours on a bus, where Huntington's going to make 10, 12 minutes over the hill. So I think there's some things that Huntington certainly has in their favor there. Then over on the Paint Valley side, what an amazing job Corey Dye has done with this team. Another winning season. They lose 3 senior starters late in the preseason, and then all of a sudden you start looking around the roster, you're like, man, this is one of the youngest teams in the league all of a sudden. And they just stayed with it. They're explosive. They're a team that keep in mind their last 3 losses. Courthouse, ask Chillicothe if they're any good. Unioto Zane Trace. I mean, I think I don't have that in front of me. I want to say it's like a combined, 36-4, with Unioto's only lost being to Zane Trace. So this is a battle tested team. This is a team that's ready for this. This is a team that, even though they're young, they have a lot of kids that have experienced Week 11 football. So playing at home. That's always a neat atmosphere there in Bainbridge. So I'm looking forward to calling it. I really am. I think it's going to be a good football game. And again, we'll have that for you on the Paint Valley Local Schools YouTube channel. So when you go around the league, again, great job by Coach Gallion of Piketon. Right here on the YouTube channel, if you look back through some of the interviews, you'll see off of a 4-game losing streak, I think it was at 2-4, I talked to Coach Gallion, and we talked about the month he had ahead of him and what he thought his team could still accomplish. You could really sense the optimism in him still, that he felt like they could turn it around, and they certainly have done that. They had an undefeated 4 weeks to end the year to get to, what would that be, 6-4. Now they're certainly going on the road, and they're going to face a tough test. They're going to face a really good football program, but nonetheless, again, I kind of feel like they're playing with house money. They come back off of last year, the expectations. A lot of people counting them out, and they certainly finished the year strong and earned the right to play on in the Week 11. So congratulations and good luck to them. And then we get to the top of the league. We start looking at Unioto and Zane Trace. I think this football league's pretty good this year. I just mentioned a couple of those teams there that are going to be playing. Look, I've been around Unioto sports a long time, and if I go back over the last, 30 years, you could argue that this is the most talented football team they've had. Now, I'm not saying there hasn't been some Unioto teams that would maybe some better individual players, some things like that. But this is a pretty talented, pretty deep bunch. Now, obviously, being a bigger school, they're going to play some different levels of competition. Even as the home team here with the seed, anytime you see Clinton Massey, that catches your attention when it comes to football. So again, they're going to get challenged. They're going to have a tough game ahead. But again, they've earned the right to play at home, and I think that's an explosive team with a lot of weapons. They can play a lot of different ways. So I think that's interesting to keep an eye on them. And then, our undefeated league champion, Zane Trace. This is a really complete football team. They the way they play travels well. It doesn't matter where they play. It doesn't matter what conditions they play in, because when you can dominate the line of scrimmage, when you can run the football, you have a chance. And their offensive line is special. I would even include their tight end play in that. Their tight ends are huge. They're athletic. They have great agility and the ability to move and do some different things. Barnhart and Phillips and Langley give you different types of runners, and they can really come at you a lot of different ways. And so they're complete. They do a nice job defensively. I mean, not counting certain late scores and so forth, I think they've shut out like half the teams they've played in the 10-0 run. So, this is the team that I think has a good draw. I think week 12, if they're able to win, then that starts to turn it up to a different level of football. But I like their week 11 matchup. I really do, as I study the teams and so forth. So that's kind of what we have. I look forward to calling the Paint Valley Huntington game, so make sure you check that out. And then we'll continue to try to get some interviews on here of some of our fall kids and so forth before we turn the page to winter. But obviously a big weekend for our SVC volleyball. Check out some of my volleyball coverage on a recent post as well. And then good luck to any soccer team still playing. I know by the time this comes out, maybe they're still in, maybe they're not. And then our cross-country kids still running this weekend. So we still got a lot of fall ahead of us. Looking forward to a great weekend of cheering on some of our teams into week 12 of football, maybe even onto the regional level and some of these other sports. So take care. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be back with you soon here on SVC Sports Talk Plus. Thanks, everyone.